No, that's the platform that we use for the streaming. So, okay, we're live.
Mr. Davenport.
Ready? Okay. North Township Advisory Board meeting for Wednesday, April 22nd.
There goes.
First item on the agenda this evening is the approval of the March 23rd, 2026 minutes. Members have had an opportunity to review them for any omissions or errors. Are there any corrections?
No.
None noted. I would take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a motion approved, Mr. Barber.
Second.
Second by Judy Fisher. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes. Second item is a recommendation for hiring from the territory. The territory indicated that favorable for the candidate that was interviewed this evening, and you have information on that person. We need to take a vote on that.
I move that we extend an offer.
Okay.
I second the motion that we,
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Next item. Cemetery.
Cemetery
Well,
update.
Oh,
Are there
sorry.
any other territory recommendations?
That was the only,
Okay.
yeah, that was the only vote that we had this, yep. Yep.
Cemetery update.
Okay, so I've met with 2 companies so far for the cemeteries. I have estimates from those 2 companies. Mullet's Fencing, they provided an estimate. These are only for County Line Cemetery. Each of these 3 estimates are for the same cemetery with different materials. So that's why there are 3 different ones. He is absolutely willing to do the estimate for the other 2 cemeteries as well, but was hoping we would narrow down what kind of materials we want to use for the fencing, so that he's not having to triplicate each of his estimates. So the first estimate, which came to $5,635.38, this is for the County Line Cemetery, the one that is across from the school. This one is for a wire, the high tinsel wire fencing, but it would be coated in white, so that it would look a little bit nicer than just your standard high tinsel strength fencing. And that's all it would be the high tinsel all the way around the cemetery versus where we had talked about doing a picket or something like a picket, for the aesthetic view of it. This would absolutely be the more cost-effective. The $10,655.53 estimate, this is for split rail fencing to go around the County Line Cemetery. I believe that one of the board members is in favor of split rail fencing because of the wear and tear that vinyl fencing has over time. So there is that to consider when we're talking about the different options. Obviously, the most expensive option was to do the high tensile strength and then do the vinyl fencing along the road for the view. So that one came to $13,140.58. Again, that's for the County Line Cemetery. This is a quote for the entire perimeter of the cemetery, which as of right now includes the church's property. So I have sent a letter to the church, to its registered agent, to find out whether or not they would be willing to either donate or come to some kind of agreement for the township, so that way we can fence around the entire thing rather than splitting the cemetery off, where I don't know, 1/6 of the headstones fall onto the church's property. So I would hate for us to not be able to encompass the entire thing. I guess first off, does anybody have anything that they would like to voice around the materials used for the project?
I was confused, did you imply that one of us prefers split rail?
Yes.
Okay. And the belief is that that would last longer than the vinyl?
Do you want to speak on
I
that?
do want to speak on that. So, of these three, I'm not, personally, I'm not in favor of the high tensile. I think that looks pretty
Chintzy?
tacky. The split rail to me looks more aesthetically for a country setting. And I think weather's better than polyvinyl with the freezing and thawing. Because a lot of times I see a lot of the posts, especially up at like Newton Park, every spring they have to go out and they have to lower the posts because they raise and lower maybe this much so that your fence is going like this and sometimes it pulls out. And then it's more brittle. So if there's breakage, then you're gonna have to have a polyvinyl fencing company come out as opposed to a split rail, most anyone can do. I mean, as far as repairing, 2 or 3 pieces that are out. We had split rail at a residence that we owned at one point in time, and it was, easy to take down and move, and if you wanted to, make an area for someone to drive through, you just pull them out and did it. So that's why I kind of favor the middle one, but.
Now, I will say the quote from Mullets did include in there that the holes were all going to be belled out at the bottom to try to prevent the frost heaving
Right.
that you have with the fencing, but
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily negate entirely. But I want to see something happen that is going to last longer so that this isn't a project that has to be repeated multiple times when it's a project that none of us really feel like we would like to be spending the township's money on this in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
I think anything you go with, I know the high tensile loses, the wires come loose and have to be really strong, and the split rails, sometimes, wear out or someone crashes in or whatever, and the polyvinyl
Yeah.
breaks. I mean, so it's pretty.
so with that, the area-wide fencing estimate that was sent, they had only quoted the tinsel fencing. And I believe, yes, with white picket around to do along the front. And then they were going to discount the white cemetery by $3,000 if they were signed on for all 3 projects. Both of these companies are 2 of the local companies. Again, I had reached out to, I think, 5 or 6. These are the only 2 that have provided estimates at this point.
So if we decide on the split rail, then maybe area wide would.
I would reach out to them to find out whether or not they would like to provide an estimate for
Okay.
that material.
I'm okay with what you're sharing and your.
It makes sense.
preference, yeah.
And I agree, I mean, that is kind of a country aesthetic. Okay. I don't know that I need to have a motion on that necessarily, unless you guys would like to officially put it on the record that that's what we're going to do for the project is split rail. And then we move forward with that.
So what comes to mind is that when we put things out to bid,
This does
We
not
want-
have to be bid.
It doesn't have to be.
All, by me extending the invitations for estimates, that's all that we would be required to do based on what we're anticipating the project estimate to be.
Okay. Now, one clarification here. It says 2 rail splits, so there would be one on top of the other, like this? Okay. I'm fine with just consensus, that that's what we wanna do. My concern before we actually do this is, if we wanna do the county line church, which I think is Zion Cemetery.
Mount Zion.
Yeah, Mount Zion. If we wanted to do that, it's almost like we need to resolve the thing.
Oh, gosh,
with the church
absolutely.
first.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yep. I also have reached out to the DNR about Mount Zion because there is a headstone that is in the right of way. So we need to figure that out, how we're supposed
Oh,
to
my goodness.
handle that. They did respond to me and said, thank you for reaching out. Received your email. Just to clarify, the stone is in the right of way of 931 or Tyler Road. Based on the satellite image, it looks like the only stone in question is at the southwest corner of the cemetery. No, it's on the,
It's on the west side.
right,
It is kind of more toward the south,
okay,
Southwest.
southwest.
okay.
Okay.
And so then they said that we would need to reach out to an archaeologist at the Indiana Department of Transportation. So,
Maybe we need to do Fairmount.
you know,
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it needs to be done sooner or later.
Yeah.
But, so the other question is, if, just to lay it out there, I'm not saying to resolve it tonight, but are we allowed to put a fence around just the areas with the tombstones so that if somebody comes there and they want to park,
so depending on what the church agrees to, then yes, I would say we would like to leave some of that space open for parking
Yeah.
there. And I had also reached out to the State Board of Accounts to inquire, okay, do we have to go around the entire perimeter of the cemetery, or can we simply go around where the headstones are located? Because, for instance, White Cemetery,
Oh, yeah.
the perimeter falls in the woods. If we have to clear out woods to put in fence, that project is going to be enormously more expensive. And they said there really is no guidance. It's just, it says you have to install fencing, and so I am taking that to mean we can just install fencing around the headstone area.
My last question is, because I remember that you, with regard to Fairmount, you contacted the people that were constructing.
Never heard anything back.
And so have you reached out to the two adjacent landowners in Mount Zion Cemetery about us putting up fencing, but informing them?
Not yet, no,
One is Greg Hass.
right,
And the other is Mr. Sims, is his name.
Okay.
He was back that way.
One of Phil Cox.
What's that?
I think, yeah, the Coxes,
Phil Cox is
Are
on
along there.
3931, not just south.
Oh, no.
On the south
I
side.
thought you were talking about
oh,
White.
no,
I thought you were talking about White. But Hass is right there too.
okay,
But it may be that Hass is right on the corner, the southeast corner.
Right.
I don't know how it's laid out.
No, because it's the old parsonage. There used to be Shrums,
Right.
and then they Shrums
I
sold
lived in
it.
that
how do they
house.
keep track of all
Okay,
that? I don't
Shrums
even know.
sold it, I think, so, yeah, so there's no other.
So I just didn't know if you wanted to reach out to them at some point in time.
I mean, I suppose we can.
Maybe just
It's-
an information.
Yeah, hey, we intend on
This is what we're
installing
gonna be doing.
fencing in the future.
You know.
Per Indiana code,
Yeah,
because past doesn't like us very much.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I don't, if it's like a Four Corners.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to inform him or anything. I mean, the fencing is gonna be on our,
It's gonna be on our property, it's not gonna be encroaching on theirs. But yeah, we had primarily initially reached out to the other landowner by Fairmont to see, hey, we have to do this, are you interested in aiding in the project?
so the final thing is that they, at Mount Zion, they probably would need to put in some type of a gate so that people can get inside the cemetery.
So I imagine we will discuss just leaving
And
an opening
okay,
of some kind. And I had reached out to a client of mine who has I don't even know what you wanna call it, but they dig graves.
a grave digger.
That's not what they call themselves, but to say, what kind of opening do you guys need for equipment?
Oh, yes.
And they had said traditionally at least 10 feet.
Okay,
Um,
good. Making good progress on that, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, just a couple of brief updates. I will be attending on Monday the State Board of Account legislative updates that they host in LaPorte. So I will report back with anything important that I find out there, that hopefully there will be some information that I can pass along to the successor. They will also be having in June, I believe, let me see if I can pull the date for you guys, because it's something that if you wanted to go or wanted to attend. On Wednesday, June 17th, the DLGF will be hosting their 2026 legislative update session. They have one at 10 o'clock and then they have another one that follows at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you go onto the DLGF website, you would be able to register to attend that if you wanted to.
What is the date again?
Wednesday, June 17th. What else did I have?
That's
Yeah, and this is not something, it's done online, so there's no quorum or anything that we need to be concerned about if all of you wanted to attend it. Working on the workman's comp insurance renewal, which falls in June, I believe. I'm trying to get them updated numbers because our employment status has changed and we've gone from, okay, we did it last year, we were anticipating 2 employees and now we're going to be up to 4 employees. So I'm trying to get all of that ironed out, so that the renewal that we have is accurate and we don't have to pay more after they do an audit. Then there is a 2% increase in dispatch fees for 2027. So we've been at 5% for the last several years, and they voted for 2% for next year. So just something so you guys know what that is. I'll bring it up on this meeting as well, that we are discussing switching from the landlines that are held with Brightspeed over to T-Mobile for their first responder lines due to the unreliability of Brightspeed. So we will probably work on getting that project completed in the next week or so, and move forward with that, which means I will not be making my personal phone number available any longer, because I will have a cell phone that I can carry with me. So just if you're aware on that, be nice. I think Judy, I still need to get to the bank, I'm so sorry, I have not forgotten on that. It's on my list of things to do, I still need to get Judy on as a signer. So
I
that she
can't
can,
do
so that she
anything.
can talk to them about the CDs,
I can't do anything with them,
so,
so they're yours.
yeah. I've just been relaying information to her, this is what they said the interest rates are, and, so I will put it on my calendar, I'm gonna get that done in the next week.
Okay,
I think that those are all the updates that I have right now.
Fire department.
As I mentioned in the territory meeting, just informational about the 2 rear tires of Brush 5 at about $700 a piece. After mounting and balancing, they told me it'd be about $1,500 for the 2 tires mounted and balanced. That's at Bremen Ford. The only other thing I wanted to ask about is I have 3 or 4 more apps out. Nobody's turned them in yet. So I don't necessarily think we needed any action on that yet. I'd like to maybe consider that in the May meeting as to whether or not we're gonna hire 1 more or 2 more or no more, or, so just have that on your radar.
All right, anybody have anything else?
So right now, you only have authorization for 4, and,
Correct.
um,
And I honestly had it wrote down right below tires, and I didn't even mention it in the territory meeting, so.
okay. Well, I think you guys are in favor of, just authorizing, 2 additional people. I guess I don't see any need for you to question that, even though I'm hesitating, I'll support that. I think we just probably should give authorization for that.
Sounds good.
I will continue to advertise, and as I get good applicants that I feel would be a good fit, I'll keep you guys apprised, and if we need to have an interview or an executive session for that, then we'll move forward.
I prefer that you guys make the motion and I'll vote for it.
Okay. So I move that we authorize Matt Haskins to continue to search for appropriate candidates for fire EMS, additional 2, which would bring the total to 6. That's my motion.
I second the motion.
Okay, any further discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Very much appreciated. And that's all I have.
Okay. Alice, you didn't show up again, so entertain a motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Well, first,
Okay.
Oh, you made a motion. I thought you made a motion.
Motion, that's okay. I'll entertain one, but we have the motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Sorry.